Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lee with DisputeBee. In this video, I'm going to show you two things. Number one, how to set up your client portal, and number two, how to create an electronic credit repair contract that you can have your clients sign, and that's going to keep you compliant with the Credit Repair Organizations Act. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're in the main settings area for your account. At any time, you can always click on the gear in the lower left corner to go to your main settings, and then you can click on the Client Portal tab to go to the Client Portal section. The first thing you'll see at the top is the client contract. Click on this little checkbox that says Require Client Contract, and you'll see a red message pops up here and says you need to select a default contract to use in the client portal. As you can see, there's nothing in this drop down here because we haven't created a contract yet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link to create a new contract. And you can see all that did was take us over to the Contract Templates tab. Now I'm going to click on this blue button that says New Contract Template. Then click on this other blue button that says Load Sample Contract. This contract is actually ready to go and ready to be used in the real world. There is one thing you do want to edit on it, which I'll show you in a minute, but first I want to point out that this variable information up here at the top, like business name, business address, and client full name, you want to keep these in here as is. You do not want to manually replace these with any information about your business or the client information. That will get automatically populated into these contracts each time it gets generated for your clients. So you can just leave these exactly as they are. The one thing you do want to edit on this contract is if you scroll down to the bottom of section 1 here, you're going to see a blank underline section for the pricing information. You just want to set this to whatever pricing you want to charge your clients. So as an example here, I'm just going to put in, let's say, $60 upon completion of initial document processing, and then let's say $120 at the beginning of each month of service. Of course, you can put in whatever you want there, and you can make as many modifications to this contract as you want. You can even upload your own totally custom contract if you have something already. The last change you want to make to this is you can give it a name. Your clients will not see this name, so I'm just going to call this Credit Repair Contract. It's only going to be used internally for your reference, and after you have entered that, go ahead and click on the Save button in the bottom right corner. At that point, your credit repair contract is completed. Couldn't be any easier. So now we're going to go back to the Client Portal tab, and we're going to click on this checkbox again that says Require Client Contract. And this time, if you open this drop down, you'll see here is the contract that we just created a moment ago. So I'm going to select that as my default contract. Now, one quick note before we get into these settings, I just want to remind you that whenever you make changes, don't forget to click the Save button at the bottom. You don't have to click Save after every small change you make, but I just want to point that out so that you don't forget and click onto another tab and lose some of your changes. Now that we've selected a default contract, let's go ahead and click on this checkbox that says Enable Credit Monitoring Link. This is going to be used in the client portal when your clients click on a button that says click here to set up your credit monitoring. If you recall, your clients will all need to create an account with Identity IQ in order for you to import their credit report. So whatever you put into this box is the actual link that's going to be used when they click on that button from the client portal. You would either want to put in just identityiq.com, or even better, if you have an affiliate link for Identity IQ, you would put that in here so that you would get credit for all the clients that you are sending over to Identity IQ. Now, if you're not yet set up as an affiliate of Identity IQ, shoot me a message and I would be more than happy to help you get set up as an affiliate. That way you can start earning a commission on all the business you send over to Identity IQ, and you can also offer discounted pricing to your clients. It's totally free to set that up, so there's no reason not to. But if you do already have that set up, put your affiliate link in here. Otherwise, for now, just leave it set to identityiq.com. Scrolling down here, the next section you want to fill out is the contact information section. This is going to be used for two things. Number one, it's going to show up in your client portal. So whatever you put in here, you want to make sure you're comfortable with your clients seeing this information. If you have a business phone or a business address, you can put that in here. Or if you use your home address or a home cell phone or something like that, you can also put that in here. That's totally fine. This is just going to show up in the client portal. The second place it's going to show up is in your client contract. So in that contract that we previously created, you saw that there were those placeholders for things like business name and business address. Well, this information is going to get inserted in place of those in the contract. So that's the second place that this information will show up. So you just want to make sure that you fill this out complete and accurately. The last thing in this section is you can upload a company logo. So in this case, I just pre-uploaded a test logo here, and you can, that's optional. If you do want to have a logo, it adds a nice personalized touch to the client portal and communicates your brand to your clients. And then the last thing here is just make sure you click on the save button at the bottom. Now I'm going to scroll back up to the top of the page and click on this link that says securecreditaccess.com. And this is what the client portal login page looks like. This is what your clients will see the very first time they go to log into the portal. And keep in mind, in the real world, your clients are going to get a welcome email that has a link they can click on and will take them right here, and it will even pre-populate their email address and their password into this for the very first time that they log in. Now, in our case, we're going to go back to the DisputeBee dashboard and create a test client to log in with, but I just wanted to explain how that's actually going to work in the real world for your clients. So in our case, I'm going to go back to the DisputeBee dashboard, and we're going to go over to our main list of clients, which, as you can see, I don't have any yet. So I'm going to create a test client. I'm going to give this client a name, call them John Doe, and the only other piece of information I need to provide right now is an email address. So I'll say test@test.com. It doesn't have to be a real email address if you're just playing around. And then if you scroll down, click on Create Client. And then up at the top here, click on the Client Information tab. If you scroll down, you'll see here is the section for Client Portal and Onboarding. The main thing you want to focus on right now is this randomly generated portal password. This is going to be the password that initially gets generated for this client. So this is what we're going to log in with right now. If you hover your cursor over this, you'll notice there's an icon of a do not allow symbol. If you still just double click on this, it will highlight, and then you can right click on it and choose copy. That way you can actually paste it into the client portal. So we're going to hop back over to the client portal now, and I'm going to log in as that test client that I just created. So I put in test@test.com. I'll paste the password that I just copied and click login. And now you can see the very first thing here is it's prompting me to choose a password. Your client will be able to choose a password of their own that they will remember. So I'm just going to enter in a password here and then click set password. Oops, it looks like I made a mistake here. Let's try this over again. There we go. And the next thing they'll see here is a little input area to confirm their personal details. This information is going to get automatically populated into the contract that they sign on the next screen. So that's why it's important for your clients to fill this out. I'm just going to put in fake information, of course, right here for now. And then click confirm information. And now you can see here is the contract that we previously created. You can see here is the business information that was automatically populated in there. Here is the client information, including those fields that I just filled out a moment ago. Here's today's date. And then if you scroll down even further, you can see here is that pricing information that we initially populated into the contract. And then if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see here is a blue button that says click to sign. If you click on that, you'll have a nice little box here where you can leave a signature, and then you can go ahead and click on submit contract. This is exactly what your client would be seeing when they sign the contract and are now logged in to the portal for the very first time. Now, I'm going to come back later and show you where that contract goes and where you can access the signed contract. But for now, I'm actually just going to keep going through the process of what your client would see the very first time that they log in to the portal. So step 1 here says get credit monitoring, and they're going to see a blue button here that says create an Identity IQ account. So when they click on that, they'll come over to Identity IQ, they'll be able to create their Identity IQ account, and they'll get a username and a password. And also just recall, if you did put in your affiliate link for Identity IQ, it would use your affiliate link right here. But in our case, since I just put in identityiq.com, it just took me over to the homepage of their website. So once your client has created an account and they have a username and password, in step 2, they'll be able to enter that in. Now in my case, I'm just going to put in demo, demo, and demo so we can take a look at a sample credit report. Then I'm going to click save, and that's done. The last step here for your client is going to be providing the rest of their personal details. So if I click on this button that says go to personal settings, then they're going to go over to this tab that says settings, and they can finish providing everything like their social security number, their phone number. They can even upload their identity and address verification documents, and anything that they put in here. So let's say, for example, I change this last name to John Carter or something like that, and I go ahead and save that. You'll be able to see in just a moment that this gets updated in the the client profile on your end. So let's go back to the DisputeBee dashboard. And this client right here, if you scroll to the top, I'm going to click on this refresh button. And then you'll see a couple things happen. Number 1, here is that updated name that we just changed. I just wanted to show you that to demonstrate that your client can enter that information in from their end, or you can manually input their personal information here from your end. The other thing you can see down here is the client provided their Identity IQ credentials, so I can see that here. And then, also at the bottom, you can see here is that credit repair contract that they had previously signed. So if I want to, I can click on download, and then I can see exactly what that signed contract looks like. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see here is their signature, and this just looks like it got pushed onto the last page because of the length of this contract, but this signature always just gets appended directly to the end of the contract template that you created. So let's go back to the client profile here. And the other thing to note is if you do for some reason ever need to have them re-sign the contract, you can always just click on this toggle right here that says no, and then in the client portal, if they log in and refresh their browser again, they'll actually be prompted to re-sign that contract. That's just in case maybe they filled it out wrong, or if you just need to have them re-sign it for some reason, you can definitely do that there. The next thing I want to show you is if you click on the credit report tab, their credit report is going to automatically start importing. The reason it's automatically importing at this point is because they provided their Identity IQ credentials already. So as soon as you go to the credit report tab, as long as those Identity IQ credentials exist, their credit report will start importing automatically. Now, while this imports, I'm going to show you the next thing we're going to do. So let's hop back over to the client portal, and we're going to click on this tab that we haven't seen yet that says Progress. Here is where your client is going to be able to see the progress of any disputes that you're working on for them. Now in this case, there's nothing here because we haven't created any disputes for them yet. So let's go ahead and create some disputes for this client. We'll jump back over to the DisputeBee dashboard, and you can see now the credit report has finished importing. Let's go ahead and create a couple disputes for them. So I'll click on the new dispute button here. We'll choose a few collections. I'll just choose these top 3 here and click next step, create disputes now. And you can see all the letters have generated. If I go ahead and click on the disputes overview button, you'll see here are the 3 disputes that we created along with the initial pending statuses for everything. So if I go back to the client portal and then I refresh my browser here, you'll see that the client now also sees a list of all 3 of those disputes along with those initial pending statuses. Now let's pretend this was maybe 30 days later. I'll go back to the DisputeBee dashboard, and I'm going to change some of these statuses to, let's say, deleted. Maybe you got this account deleted and this portfolio RC account. Let's say this got updated to repaired. Let's go back to the client portal and refresh the browser one more time. And now you can see the status here that the client is seeing has been updated to say deleted and repaired. So this is a really easy way for your client to stay in the loop and understand at what point they are in the credit repair process. The final thing I want to show you in the client portal right now is on the Home tab. You'll now notice that instead of the client seeing those initial getting started steps, since their credit report was imported by you previously, they're now seeing their full credit report right here. This credit report is going to show up in the exact same format that you're seeing on your end. So that means it's really convenient. For example, if you're doing an initial consultation and you're walking your client through this, you can even say things like, okay, now click on the collections tab, scroll down and look at the Midland Fund account, and you can actually walk them through this and they will be able to see the same exact credit report that you're looking at on your end. This pretty much covers the basic functionality of the client portal. In a future video, I'm going to show you how to do things like there will be another tab up here that you can enable that will be a billing tab. Your client will be able to actually enter their credit card information and start a monthly subscription with you so that you can get paid by them very easily. I'll show you how to set that up in a later video. And the other thing I'll show you in the next video is how you can set up an automated welcome email that will easily allow your client to log in to the client portal for the very first time. They'll actually have a link in the welcome email that will pre-populate their login information that very first time they log in. The last thing I want to show you before I end this video is if I go back to my main list of clients here, and I want to show you this nifty button here. It's an advanced filter. So among the different things I can filter here, one of them is the contract signing status. So let's say for some reason I wanted to only show clients who have not signed the contract because maybe those are clients that I know that I need to follow up with. You can see that client has now disappeared from the list because they have already signed the contract. If I change this filter to now say the contract signing status is yes and save changes, you'll see now I can see this client. They show up back in the list because they have signed the contract. And then of course you can you can set this back to any, or you can just click here on the clear filters button in the top right corner to clear that filter. So this pretty much covers the basic functionality of both the credit repair contracts and the client portal. If you have any questions about how any of that works, definitely don't hesitate to send me a message and I would be more than glad to help you. So that covers it for this video. Stay tuned in our next video where I show you how to send out those automated welcome emails. Talk to you soon.